Today's video is so kindly sponsored by Geo. I've been growing out my hair for a while now, and this is actually the longest it's ever been. The ends of my hair have been chemically treated and dyed many times, and so they're sort of on the drier and more lifeless side, which is why I decided to give Geo's Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask a try. It is a weekly treatment that strengthens and repairs damaged hair while helping to prevent future damage. It is also a 5-time Allure Beauty Award winner. Clinical studies have proven that it decreases hair breakage after only 2 uses. I'm noticing that my hair feels bouncier, shinier, smoother, and thicker these days. Geo is super effective while being clean and natural, which is so hard to do. It contains no harsh sulfates, silicones, parabens, phthalates, or artificial dyes. It is also vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free. The products are formulated with a skincare philosophy backed by dermatologists, and they're also responsibly sourced and packaged. Geo is currently offering you 15% off by following my link and using the code ediyasmr. This is clean hair care that actually works, so go check it out. Thank you so much, Geo. And now let's get into the video. Hi there, and welcome. Tonight I'm going to be giving you a pick a card timeless tarot reading, and you're going to have 3 groups to choose from. If you're watching this at the time of upload, then you may find some Taurus season related themes since we're moving into that season. If you're watching this outside of that time, treat this like a completely timeless reading. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's begin with a card meditation. So I'm going to ring the sing bowl 3 times, and with each ring, take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. And take this time to just sink into your body. Lower the shoulders, relax the jaw, and find your center. Feel your connection to your seat, and let that ground you as well. Relax the body and bring all of your awareness down, down, down to your heart center. Find your center here, where you will be able to listen to your intuition, to receive the messages that you're ready to hear. Now, if you're ready, you can open your eyes and look at the 3 groups before you. Just notice which group stands out to you. Is it group 1, the light Seers deck? Is it group 2, the Osho Zen Tarot deck? Or is it group 3, the Universal Golden Tarot? You don't have to think too hard. The first answer is usually correct. So just go with your gut instinct, your first impulse. And if you're unsure, you're welcome to listen to all 3 readings and pick the messages within them that resonate with you. Once you've chosen your group, you can go down to the timestamps below and click on your reading, and I'll see you over there. If you chose group 1, the Light Seers deck, then this reading is for you. So I'm going to shuffle the deck and ask the cards for your current energies, what you need to hear, and what may be possible if you were to follow Tarot's advice. After that, I'm going to pick out a poem from the Fortunate Poetry book and read that to you as well. Let's begin. Let's start off with your current energies. You got these 2 cards paired together. First, we have the 2 of Swords. This is temporary energy in your current situation. Then we have the Hermit, which is the bigger picture here and what you're supposed to learn from your current situation. And what I'm getting here is that there seems to be a sort of mental crossroads. You're unable to figure out which path to take. There are 2 choices, and you're unsure of which path to walk down. The answer isn't clear, and it feels like you're blindfolded, like you're not supposed to know the answer. This blindfolded woman, at the same time, also encourages you to look within. If the external circumstances are too confusing to navigate, then look within, find your inner stillness in order to listen to your intuitive guidance. So this is a card of meditation, really. It encourages you to go within, and you probably already know this, given that this is your current energies. You're probably already doing this. The Hermit card further amplifies that message that you're taking this time to be in your own solitude, figuratively as well as physically. You're learning to understand where you end and where you begin, your boundaries, in order to work with your own energies, understand your own energies. So this is a period of introspection and getting to know yourself better, getting to know your needs and how you want to move forward. So really like these 2 together because it shows that you're really following your intuitive or divine guidance. This is what you're supposed to be doing. If you're feeling the 2 of Swords energy, then the Hermit card is perfect. And then you have the King of Pentacles along with the 4 of Wands. Both of these cards are pointing towards a sense of harmony and stability in your material world. The 4 of Wands is feeling that in your home, in your household. And the King of Pentacles is about feeling really stable, steady, and resourced and abundant in that sense as well. Just having reached the epitome of material abundance and resourcefulness. So there seems to be a generally nice sense of harmony here in your material world. At the same time, I wonder if perhaps you are fearing that whatever decision you make might disrupt this sense of harmony. There's a tension here that you may accidentally uproot the stability you found. So we'll look further into that. When I asked for advice, you got the Fool card. So the Fool is about not knowing, but still choosing to take that leap forward. It's really about trust in something larger than yourself, and completely embodying the Fool, recognizing that yes, you don't know everything there is to know, and you are most likely going to make mistakes, but that's okay. It is worth the risk. It's worth the challenge. So the advice here is to embody the Fool, to be somebody who is willing to take that leap of faith, to risk the stability that you found, because there is more to gain from experiencing life. It is asking you to acknowledge that you don't know everything. And in that acknowledgement, you can feel safer in moving forward, in being brave, and starting a new beginning. So take your time to absorb the wisdom of the Fool. The Fool is the card that begins the major arcana, and in some versions of the tarot, it also ends the major arcana. So when we learn all there is to learn in life, we go right back to the Fool to realize, oh, I know that I don't know now, and that makes me wise. So embody the wisdom of the Fool and allow that to give you the bravery you need in order to move forward. You also have the Eight of Swords. So it seems like your mental limitations are what's stopping you. It's not that physical reality is making things difficult, but rather what you're perceiving from physical reality. So there may be certain mental illusions, limiting beliefs that are making you believe whatever you want to do is impossible. There's a certain feeling to this, and it's really, I think the image illustrates it really nicely. It's feeling really trapped, like you really want to do something, but you don't feel like you can expand into that. And so you're constantly in thought. You're constantly either daydreaming about it. How can I get around it? And this card is trying to tell you that it's all in your perception of reality. The limitations don't actually exist in physical reality. It's all in your perception of it. So can you give up what you think you are seeing in order to see that you're free, that nothing's actually holding you back? External reality is completely open to you. It is you with your perception of this reality that's holding you back. So can you see that it is just an illusion? You are completely free. You're free to do whatever you like. And then when I asked the cards about what may be possible if you were to follow Tarot's advice, you got the Judgment card along with Temperance. And this is such beautiful energy. The Judgment card shows us that you are awakening. If you're not awakening now, you have the possibility of awakening to expansion, to more of yourself, to a life path that reflects more of who you are. So sort of like this woman, realizing her dream of being a ballerina and feeling like that's possible again. It's really that sort of feeling of being so elated and expansive and more congruent with your own integrity. So you're going to be experiencing an awakening of embodying more of who you are. And the Temperance card tells us that in doing so, you're going to be alchemizing energies. So finding more integration within, instead of feeling split or fragmented, you're going to feel more whole internally and, maybe process through whatever limiting belief is holding you back in order to be more balanced and also see reality as it is. That's always what's possible when we integrate opposing energies. So maybe what you can ask yourself is, what are these opposing energies that you're supposed to merge together and alchemize? The limiting belief may be able to point you towards that. That may be one of the energies. And then you've got the King of Wands along with the Seven of Wands. A lot of Wands energy, so there's fire here, creativity and passion. The King of Wands is a true leader. He is full of charisma. You see the lion behind him? That is deeply symbolic of his energy. You see it in this image, the way he stands in full confidence. So you are going to embody the King of Wands, and you may even find somebody who embodies the King of Wands, who inspires you to find that within as well. So this can be, a future partner. This could be your current partner and just see the side to them. This can also be a mentor or a family member. It doesn't really matter, but it is picking up on this certain archetype within them and then learning from that archetype, absorbing their wisdom so that you can be more lion-like, you can be more charismatic and fiery and passionate and more leader-like. So pay attention to somebody like this who walks into your life or who's already in your life and, learn from their energy, learn to embody that energy as well. The Seven of Wands shows me that you're going to be more aware of your boundaries and you're going to be able to practice your boundaries. I think this image just puts it out really nicely, how, the light is shining from her solar plexus, the energy center for power, for will. And around her is this nice little circular bubble, and she is completely unaffected and centered, just right in the middle. This is the feeling of having that protective, energetic boundary where people aren't pulling you, left, right, and center. It's a very different energy from the Two of Swords, right? In the Two of Swords, you have the birds pulling you, creating a mental mess for you. There's a lot of distorted air energy, whereas in this, it's like there's a lot of fire, a lot of wands, and you're able to maintain your center despite all of the creative, fiery passion. So it's a really nice and steady, confident feeling to have. And I think it complements the King of Pentacles from the beginning. So this can be a little lesson learned, which allows you to embody this and a little bit more. So the boundaries piece is, I think, really significant here. How can you develop strong boundaries, get to know who you really are, feel that sense of adventure and bravery from the Fool, acknowledge what you don't know, and the let go of your limiting beliefs around your situation. How can you learn to trust yourself and listen only to yourself, only to your intuitive guidance? So I guess, something just clicked is that you may have been really influenced by people around you and their beliefs about your situation and what they think you should do. And this is really a time to be in your own solitude and listen to yourself only, nobody else. It doesn't matter how close you are to them, how much they love you. At this point in time, you have to follow your own inner guidance and respect your own boundaries and needs and desires. That's really important at this time. Now I'm going to read from Fortunate. Pick out a little poem for you. So you got Judgment. You stuck on this earth. Your higher self, at ease, knowing what's for you will come to you. They invite Earth you to rise above the judgments of earthbound life and see existence with a fresh pair of eyes. Give advice to yourself from a place of no labels, no good or bad. And perhaps at the end of the day, you will be of aid to someone else through the cosmic knowledge of trusting yourself. Goosebumps. Oh my God, that literally summed up the reading so well. I am amazed. That was just beautiful. You can pause the video if you like to read it yourself. Really let that sink in. Trust yourself. Listen to your higher self and see existence from a fresh pair of eyes. Let go of the labels. That was so beautiful. Well, Group 1, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you found the reading helpful. Let me know in the comments. It's always so lovely to hear from you. And I will see you very soon. Bye. If you chose Group 2, the Osho Zen Tarot, this reading is for you. So I'm going to first shuffle the deck and ask for your current energies, what you need to hear, as well as what may be possible for you if you follow Tarot's advice. And then after that, I will read from Fortunate and pick out a poem for you. Okay, let's start with your current energies. The first card that you got was the Rebirth card, and in the original Rider-Waite, this is the Ten of Swords. So we have air energy and we have the number 10. In the original tarot deck, the Ten of Swords is a card of ultimate defeat and surrender. And it's actually one of my most favorite cards because it is so deeply spiritual in its nature. It's completely surrendering the mind, recognizing that the mind has backstabbed us. And in order for a dawn to come, we have to completely give in, give up. So, a lot of people are afraid of the Ten of Swords actually, but to me, it is like this. It is a rebirth. It is so profound and impactful, and it's really the energy that you want when you are aspiring for an awakening within you. In this particular imagery, what I love is that it depicts the process of trauma healing, honestly, how we move from a dorsal vagal state to a sympathetic state to a ventral vagal state. And in yoga philosophy, you can describe this process through the three gunas of being in tamas, completely asleep with dense energy, feeling low energy, to feeling the chaos and movement of rajas. And this is where we learn, where we wake up. But there's a lot of movement, a lot of energy. When we can transmute this, we move into sattva, purity, balance, innocence. And I love how it's a child in this particular image. That's just so beautiful. So you see, you are awakening. You may be between this stage of waking up from being completely asleep to sensing a lot of anxiety in your body these days. And I might even go as far as to say you might experience anxiety attacks from time to time and just feel really overwhelmed. And know that that's a part of the process. You're mobilizing your energy. You're realizing your power. You're waking up to something more. You may also be between this stage of learning to let go of constantly fighting or flighting. Fleeing, not flighting, wow. Of constantly fighting or fleeing, and instead embrace a middle path, a sense of balance, where you can feel safe in your space again, where you can feel a release of that chaos. Of course, we are always moving back and forth between this ladder, so it's totally normal for you to feel like this one day, and then like this one day, and like that. This is just a part of the healing. It's learning to be flexible with our nervous system too. You also have change. And in the original Rider-Waite's deck, this would be the Wheel of Fortune. And this basically follows what I just said earlier of, realizing that we are constantly moving back and forth between these three states. Sometimes you are shut down. Sometimes you have a lot of mobilized energy and you want to fight or flight. And sometimes you feel completely balanced and safe and at peace. And that is really the wheel, is that things are constantly changing. The wheel might turn up one day and you feel great. And on another day it might turn down and you feel terrible. Life's like that. We go through the ebbs and flows. Things can look really bleak in one moment, and turn up right away the next. And the message here, the wisdom that this card is trying to share with you, is that the one part of the wheel that is unaffected is the center, the eye of the storm. So when we're in the middle, when we're in the center, we are unaffected by the changes. When you can be with your awareness and identify with your awareness, and that's it. All the other parts of you that are changing and transforming, that are being released, wouldn't bother you as much. You would just surrender to that as a part of the process, that you're letting go of your old self, letting go of old beliefs, old thoughts. In the middle, you remain. You are awareness of self. So, to take it a step further, you may want to practice detaching from your limited, contracted sense of self, the parts of you that are impermanent, that are bound to change, and learn to cultivate more awareness of awareness of self, and realize that you are awareness. That's the part of you that is always permanent, that never changes. And that's where you find peace. That's where you find your center. And that's where you find non-duality, the yin and yang imbalance. This is quite a deep message. Beautiful. You also have maturity. So there you go. This process is helping you mature, helping you become more emotionally mature, more able to handle your emotions and the wide range of intense emotions that can come from time to time. It's helping you realize that life is about the ebbs and flows. Life involves intense emotions and ups and downs, and you can embrace it all and still be steady and flexible and centered and grounded. And that's a real flourishing, when you realize that, when you're able to handle it without feeling shame, without fear, that's true maturity right there. Now for some advice. I think we already got some advice. They just kind of came through, but here are some more. First, we have nothingness. It's just a pitch black image. And what I'm taking away from this is that you are encouraged to practice awareness cultivation, to develop your awareness in order to be that with that part of you that is completely nothing, but at the same time everything. It just depends on how you want to look at it. In Buddhism, it is a sense of nothingness. That's the name they give to it. To realize you are nothing. You are awareness itself. And that is everything. So I encourage you to practice developing your awareness becoming aware of itself. And you're also encouraged to embrace your breakdowns because they are breakthroughs. In the original Rider-Waite's, this is the Tower card. And I know that a lot of people fear tower moments. They fear getting the tower. Really, you have to know that the Tower card is about dismantling old conditioning, old beliefs that aren't serving you anymore. It's realizing that you've been living in your head, in an illusion, and that in order to wake up from it, sometimes you have to fall off the tower. You have to break down. And it's deeply uncomfortable because we don't naturally want to invite experiences like that. But when they happen, we experience breakthroughs. So you're being encouraged to embrace your breakdowns because they are breakthroughs. They will help you see the truth of your reality, the truth of yourself, and what you're meant to experience in this lifetime. They'll put you on the right path. The last one is trust. And the message here is just really beautiful. You look at the image, you see this little girl, and she's taking a big trust fall, complete leap of faith, and there is nothing below. So the message here is, there's a spiritual saying of, when we first fall, we expect there to be a ground below, and we anticipate the hit. We're so afraid of hitting the ground below that sometimes it's really difficult to take that leap of faith, to really trust and fall. But when you do, when you initiate the trust fall, at a certain point you realize there's no ground. You're never going to get that impact. You're just going to continue to fall, and the fall itself is so freeing. You wouldn't want anything else. So you're completely safe in the fall, in the surrendering. I really butchered that. I think the original spiritual saying or story just sounds so much better than what I just said. But I hope the message came through, the transmission came through. Allow yourself to fall, because you don't have to fear what isn't there. And now, here's what's going to be possible if you were to follow Tarot's advice. Possibilities. This is the Two of Wands. And, possibilities, I think, says it all. It's realizing that things are possible. Your horizons will expand, and you're going to be able to take in more opportunities and what you may want to experience in this life. So this is the sense of looking out your balcony, across the horizon, and just realizing you have the world in your hands. You can do anything you want. Everything is possible. Then you have the Rebel. So this is the Osho version of the Emperor. And I really want to read out the commentary on this because it's just powerful. So let me do that for you. All right, the Rebel. The powerful and authoritative figure in this card is clearly the master of his own destiny. On his shoulder is an emblem of the sun, and the torch he holds in his right hand symbolizes the light of his own hard-won truth. Whether he is wealthy or poor, the Rebel is really an emperor because he has broken the chains of society's repressive conditioning and opinions. He has formed himself by embracing all the colors of the rainbow, emerging from the dark and formless roots of his unconscious past, and growing wings to fly into the sky. His very way of being is rebellious, not because he is fighting against anybody or anything, but because he has discovered his own true nature and is determined to live in accordance with it. The eagle is a spirit animal, a messenger between earth and sky. The rebel challenges us to be courageous enough to take responsibility for who we are and to live our truth. And Osho says, people are afraid, very afraid of those who know themselves. They have a certain power, a certain aura, and a certain magnetism, a charisma that can take alive young people out from the traditional imprisonment. The enlightened man cannot be enslaved. That is the difficulty. And he cannot be imprisoned. Every genius who has known something of the inner is bound to be a little bit difficult to be absorbed. He's going to be an upsetting force. The masses don't want to be disturbed. Even though they may be in misery, they are in misery, but they are accustomed to the misery. And anybody who is not miserable looks like a stranger. The enlightened man is the greatest stranger in the world. He does not seem to belong to anybody. No organization confines him, no community, no society, no nation. This gives me goosebumps every single time. Wow. I could read this over and over again. So that made me think of the rebirth card. The truth is, a lot of people are here. They are asleep, and to put it in a blunt way, they are in unawakened misery. But they're accustomed to it. They're used to this. This is the way society runs, They make us sort of imprisoned to our own dormant energies. And when we begin to wake up, when we begin to experience mobilized energy, that can look really frightening, if you are used to this as what is normal. To experience anxiety, to experience intense emotions, and feel passion can be really frightening. And to be innocent and pure, to feel calm and balanced and unbothered, can also be really alienating from the rest of society because most people aren't like that. So you see, awakening makes you a rebel. It makes you someone who isn't defined by any organization, community, nation, religion, or culture. It makes you an individual. Now I'm going to read a poem from the Fortunate Poetry Book. You got the Wheel of Fortune. They say, what comes around goes around. And you'd think it were that simple, right? Just as easy as one thing comes, another one goes. But with all this color, angels and demons, you must learn the wheel is constantly turning, at times in your favor. You have nothing to lose if you know that it'll all pass. Such is the temporariness of life. Whew, that was such a powerful message. This entire reading was really incredible. I hope you found it helpful, group 2. Let me know how it went in the comments below. And I will see you very soon. Sending love. If If you chose group 3, the Universal Golden Tarot, then this reading is for you. So I'm going to first shuffle the deck and ask for your current energies, what you need to hear, as well as what may be possible if you follow Tarot's advice. Let's see what comes up. So it looks like we have a love reading in our hands. I don't normally focus on just love, but judging by the outcomes, I think I'll do that today, or at least try my best. But let's start with your current energies. First, you have the Seven of Pentacles. This card is about patiently reevaluating, assessing, and contemplating on what you've experienced, what you have or what you have done in order to learn from it and do better moving forward. So you may be contemplating on a past relationship and what you learned from it. Was it worth it? What did you take away from it? How can you do better next time? You may be reassessing a recent situation with your current partner if you're in a relationship, and reevaluating your actions and behaviors or their actions and behaviors. And at this time, you're just taking your time and being patient with that process because it's very needed and necessary in order to have a healthy and successful relationship. You're also keeping your energy to yourself these days. So instead of trying to project or impose yourself into somebody else's energy, you're kind of keeping to yourself, enjoying your own solitude, and knowing that your cup is full regardless. Like, you don't really need the other person. You have everything you need. You're able to be fully satisfied and fulfilled on your own. You're taking this time to fill up your own cup, to feel confident in yourself before sharing that with the other person. So whether you're in a relationship or not, this is a time to really tend to yourself, beautify yourself by replenishing your own energy. You may at the same time be sort of cold and stoic with the way you're communicating and expressing your thoughts. And this might be necessary right now to just kind of have your boundaries and not let them be broken. If that is what you're doing, be careful to not be too harsh. Be careful of saying things that you don't mean. Master mental clarity before you engage in any sort of conversation or communication. Make sure you're speaking from the heart rather than speaking out of spite or resentment. You have the Empress also. So this is the only major arcana card here. Oh, I was wrong. You have two major arcana cards here, the Empress and Judgment. And within a relationship, we're dealing with divine feminine energy here. So who I'm speaking to right now, the one that's listening, you're encouraged to embody the divine feminine at this time. You don't have to identify as female in order to embody this energy. We have the divine feminine and masculine in all of us. It's the yin and yang energetically within that keeps us balanced. So it's just that at this time in your relationship, or if you're looking for one, you're encouraged to really tap into being receptive, really sitting on your throne, taking your time to wait for your suitors to come, to wait for your partner to initiate and come forward. This isn't the time to take action. It's the time to really find your own sense of sovereignty and own it, to be receptive and attract action from the other. So it is feminine in that sense, that it is receptive. It is pulling in, drawing in energy. So how can you embody that at this time? And if you can do that, you're going to experience an awakening in this relationship of waking up to an expansive, a more realized, balanced version of your current relationship or status. This is a realization of your true nature, your power, your wisdom. If you're in a relationship, this is a awakening of why you got into this relationship in the first place and all the possibilities and potentials you saw in it. So those are being awakened and realized. Those potentials are being realized. And so it's a really promising card if you're in a relationship currently. Now let's talk about advice from the tarot and what you need to hear. You have the Temperance card. So what you should be focusing on right now is tending to your own energies and integrating opposites, integrating the parts of yourself that you can't accept and finding balance within. Because when we don't do this work of integration, we tend to project whichever side that we are unable to accept onto our partners. So it's important that you feel whole within first. You're able to hold both opposites. And when you can do that, you'll feel the same sense of balance and harmony within your relationship. So ask yourself, what are you finding difficult to accept in the other? And then bring that attention back to yourself. What part of you is the same as that part of them that you're unable to accept? And integrate that. Embrace it. You're also being asked to have temperance rather than be impulsive or compulsive. So the reverse Knight of Wands is really asking you to take your time, to slow down, to not be impulsive or too spontaneous at this time. Slow down. Hold your horses. And practice temperance until you fully dissolve energies that aren't serving you anymore. So until you experience a death and transformation and rebirth, you gotta let go of a part of yourself. That part of you is holding you back from realizing the fullness of the relationship that you want. So embrace that death. So that death is a rebirth. Walk into the cocoon, surrender to it, and wait for a new dawn. It's right there. And what's going to be possible when you can do all that and be super patient is you're going to experience a sense of alignment, like nothing you've ever felt before. The Lovers is about being in alignment. The Lovers, of course, on the surface level, when you can be in alignment, you attract people who reflect that sense of alignment within. So you find love externally and within. So you have the Lovers. That's a huge confirmation of you being in a aligned relationship that is satisfying, fulfilling, and true to who you really are. It serves you in the sense that it nurtures your true nature. And you have the angel looking over you. That's beautiful. You also have the Two of Cups. This is why I knew this would be a love reading. So the Two of Cups, to take it another step further, is about seeing yourself reflected in another person. This is true resonance with another person on an emotional and spiritual level. It's this sharing of cups and feeling a sense of oneness in your energies. So that's really beautiful. And again, there's the angel overlooking this union. So there is guidance, there is support, even if you're not feeling it right now. And then, wow, you have the Ten of Cups, which is just another huge confirmation that this relationship that you're currently in or that you're going to find yourself in the future is going to be a deeply fulfilling and satisfying one. It's when you feel like you have 10 cups. The cups represent emotions, 10 represents completion. So it's like being so full emotionally, so satisfied, so fulfilled. Like, I can't get any better than this. This is perfection. You're going to be like these two over here looking at their children. Yeah, looking at their children having fun and just admiring their cups and what a beautiful life they have. That's the feeling that's going to be possible. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, there's a sense of completion here, and it's completion within the material realm. So when you have the Ten of Pentacles, it's about stability, it's about legacy. So there's a sense of solidity that's going to be achieved within this relationship. You might take things to the next level of, being engaged or getting married, having children, getting a house, or it doesn't have to be any of those very traditional milestones. It could just simply be feeling more stable and secure in your relationship, having a secure attachment style instead of chasing and running, right? Just finally feeling like, oh yeah, you're going to be here for me for a very long time, and I choose to be here for you for a really long time. So that sort of stability and security is going to be possible. So, yeah, what else? What more could you want, right? Okay, now I'm going to pick a poem from the Fortunate Poetry book. You got the Ace of Cups. You radiate who you are with such confidence that the tips of your fingers leave the trail of personality wherever they go. Give what you can and take even less. Be it love or kindness, make this connection last. Be it neural or human, take it in the palm of your hands and rest at ease, knowing that you are on the right path. Goosebumps. Oh, I think it's so beautiful that it says, make this connection last and rest at ease knowing that you are on the right path. So if you've been doubting your relationship and feeling uneasy about, where it's going, then I hope this is reassuring for you that, if you really allow yourself to nurture your own energy and to sit in your own sovereignty and learn to be receptive and receive and practice, your own shadow work and make that the kind of kindness you're giving to your partner, the kind of understanding that they're really wishing for, then this connection will last. There's something great to be built from this foundation. So I hope that this reading was helpful. Thank you so much for being here, Group 3. And let me know in the comments how this went for you. I'm sending you so much love and so much healing. And I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.